Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal video. Here I'm going to show you how I make this sound. I'm trying to basically recreate that Mike Parker really weird droning techno siren bass. You know, like you get in Resonator 1, Drain Hum and that kind of stuff, and it's more modern stuff. So yeah, and I'm going to give away the rack for free. You'd have to make it yourself. You can just follow along. Yeah, I'll give away the rack at the end. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically, this is an operator patch, and it's made. I tried making it with looped envelopes because it sounds like a looped envelope, but it's actually made in the end. I made it with using the LFO. The LFO modulates the pitch of one of the oscillators. See. It gives it, if I add that oscillator back in it, it gets like a pitch wub to it, and the LFO also changes the filter, and the filter is this weird morphing filter type, so it gets really resonant. If I turn up the filter frequency, I won't turn it up all the way, it will really scream. But so basically the LFO is modulating those two things, the filter and the pitch of oscillator C. It's basically there's three oscillators, they're all sine waves, detuned a bit, and there's one of them higher than the others, an octave up, which is C, and that's wobbling with this LFO. But the thing is, the LFO, it's out of time, it's not synced, as you can see here, but also it's got an envelope on it, so the LFO tails off with this envelope. If I put this up, you can hear it just goes on forever. But by putting an envelope on the LFO, so you're like modulating the modulation, you get this really weird sound. Yeah, so I was trying to do it, like I said, with looped envelopes, but this is the way I settled on it in the end. And if you change the speed of the track, you probably have to fiddle around with this rate here to get it to sit nicely. It's off, but it sort of works, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that is the patch really. It's just that, then it's EQ'd, then it's got a drum bus for a bit of distortion, not much, but just to sort of pick it out, and an echo unit. Obviously there's two echo units actually, on different settings. It's got that really nice dub delay chain, like his stuff has. If I stop it, you can hear it. You can hear the delays tail out. Then it's got a load of reverb with a 3-second decay, and a drum bus after that again to accentuate it all, so those reverb tails and those delay tails don't get lost, they sort of get picked out slightly by that drum bus drive at the end. So yeah, that is basically the patch. But what I've done is I've made a rack, which you can get in the description below, by the way. It's free, you go and get that. Please while you're there, like and subscribe as well. It does help me out a lot. So yeah, go and get that, and then you can follow along basically. So all of these, I've taken all the important stuff out of the rack and stuck it up the front. And time is always use this. It'd be really good for tweaking. It basically makes every single time in operator slightly longer or shorter, so it'll affect the LFO, the LFO envelope, and all the other envelopes. And so the pitch, the rate, the pitch wobbles, and the filter wobbles, and all that stuff will all be modulated at the same time. And I quite like it. You get that sort of speaking bass line that you get in these Mike Parker records. You could just tweak time if you wanted. For these it's quite a mad effect. And then filter frequency, this is going to scream. You have to be careful with this because it is not a low pass or a high pass. If I do it like, but basically the LFO is making that wobble, but I'm just bringing up the bass of the bottom level of it. And then filter resonance, you turn it down, it won't scream, and you're almost just getting the pitch wobble through. Yeah, the filter resonance, you can hear it. It's when the filter drops down to the bass level, you're getting a big bass swell from the filter sweep because of the resonance. Then FM feedback, that is every channel, there's 3 channels, 3 oscillators in use. I've made it so although there's no FM happening, I've made it so each one does FM on them. Feedback is basically where it does FM on itself, it's frequency modulating itself. So if you turn this up, it's going to make these go into like chaotic FM sounds, all 3 of them at the same time at the same rate. You'll hear it basically. It's quite a nice sound, but you want to build these sounds in slowly. And then shaper drive, which I think is the filter drive. Yes, this one here. If you take it off, there's a lot less character. You want a lot of drive on these things. I imagine Mike Parker used hardware signal change, but there's a lot of noise and saturation in them. So yeah, I've added that here. LFO amount and rate is going to change the sound a lot because the whole sound is off this LFO. Yeah, that's the sound without any modulation. So yeah, you want to tweak that, and the LFO rate is just going to change everything. It's going to speed it up. But remember, it's not like a constant LFO because it's changing with that envelope as well. So yeah, you can just move that and just keep it moving for these crazy sounds. Then oscillator C to LFO, which is that's the amount of the pitch modulation on oscillator C basically. So you switch it off, there's no pitch modulation. You're just getting the LFO is just going to the filter. You get these weird barking bass lines if you just tweak everything, and yeah, it's really fun to tweak this. You should have a MIDI controller and just or record it with the mouse, but MIDI controller would be good for this one. So yeah, and then drum bus distortion is the first drum bus. There's 2 drum bus distortions, one's the last. This is obviously just adding noise to the chain. You can hear it, the signal chain. All these are in order of how they are from left to right in here. So this is the first drum bus after operator, that one there. Then echo 1 feedback and echo 2 feedback. Yeah, you can tweak them as well. They're really nice to tweak. And reverb decay. Yeah. And then reverb mix. So yeah, you can tweak all of these slowly. You could probably just sit for the day tweaking a sound like this. It's a really cool signal chain. It's really nice to sort of tweak this kind of sound. And then the last one is the drum bus, which is the distortion at the very end. Sorry, here before the EQ. There's a utility at the end as well, just because it gets really loud with adding all these distortions, and that just brings it down. See, that's it really. You could tweak as much as you like. You could add in another oscillator. You could make other oscillators go to the pitch and see what happens. I might just try that now. Yeah, I mean, you could play with this sound forever, but I think that is like a basic sound. I very much doubt that's how Mike Parker did it. I think he did it with looped envelopes, but that's me trying to get as close as possible to that sort of deep, resonant Mike Parker sort of drain hum sound that he's well known for. I really love those records. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, go and get it in the description below, and please, when you're there, like and subscribe, and yeah, good luck with your music making. And that's it from me. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.